Hello, this is Terrell Pauly with LearnHealthcareIT.com, and today I want to do something a little different than what I normally do. Today, I'm actually I want to talk about the movie that I just went to go see recently, the Avengers Infinity War, and I like to do it in kind of a way. Here's what I want to do. I want to actually kind of talk about the movie Avengers Infinity War a little bit and how it kind of relates to healthcare IT. Because, this site is all about talking about everything related to healthcare IT and, all about the industry, the field, which I've been in now for over 13 years. But just seeing as though, Avengers Infinity War was a big movie. I'll tell you that I meant to actually do a video about this earlier, but I just life kind of got in the way. I wasn't able to get to it earlier. So I just hope that everything is still fresh in my mind. I actually went to go see the movie. First, in the beginning, I finally saw it like 3 times. Now, my third time seeing it, and I think I saw it twice in 1 week, and then, but the first time I waited. After seeing it the first time, I waited for like maybe a month or something like that, a month and a half, until going to see it again. And again, that's just because of life and life events just kind of got in the way. And so I want to say that let me say up front, first in the beginning, if you're not a comic book movie fan, or you don't like comic book movies, then this video is probably not going to be. You might not like this video, so this video right here might not be for you. But being as though we're talking about, I'm in the IT space, healthcare IT. I am somewhat of a geek and a nerd, and comic books and comic book movies, they kind of fit in that area. So I am a comic book movie. I enjoy comic book movies myself. I do, and to me, I enjoy both Marvel and DC. So, but if I were to, I think right now is that Marvel is actually doing beating DC right now, kind of hands down. So before I get into more detail, I just wanted to again say this is going to be kind of like talking about Avengers Infinity War, the movie itself, and kind of not really in a spoilery type of way. Just in general, and just how some of the aspects of the movie and how they kind of relate, they kind of tie back into like learning healthcare IT. So I just wanted to try to find a way to talk about Avengers Infinity War because I enjoyed the movie so much. And as you can see, I'm actually wearing my Star Wars t-shirt, which I'm not going to get into Star Wars because the new Star Wars trilogy has me really pissed off. It's kind of, for me, kind of ruined Star Wars. So, but that's for a whole nother video, a whole nother story. Not today. So I just wanted to, so the reason that I wanted to talk about this Avengers Infinity War movie, and it's just because how, this movie right here it's the culmination of like the past 10 years of movies, of Marvel movies in that Marvel Cinematic Universe in the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this movie here, Avengers Infinity War, is a culmination of what has transpired of all of these different movies. And what I think that Marvel has done such a good a good job, maybe even a great job, right? I mean, this is something that we've never seen before. Um, we've never seen, at least not to my knowledge, not unless you're talking about maybe Star Wars in some sort of way, like how they, but maybe you can bring up Star Wars as a comparison, but how the MCU, how Marvel was able to kind of interwoven and just kind of intermingle all of these different movies from, and all of these different characters from the Marvel universe. People's like the Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, and such, and how all of these different players, these main people in these main Avengers, how they actually had their own movies and how they actually, kind of brought things together. And it's just, I think that it was just, it was a sight to be able to experience that. I want to say that it was experience, right? For me, just reflecting and going back and thinking about it. I mean, it's something that you don't see every day, something that you don't see, being done. How, typically I think that what they been able to do was they took how they just play off of what they have done in the past with the actual comic books, and how they can tell these different stories and these different heroes and these villains. They're in these comic books. They're in their own. They have their own comic book, and they're telling their own stories. And then there's times when the heroes team up against a more powerful villain. When the villain comes into town, or comes in the scene, and then they have to band together in order to defeat and take care of the villain. Defeat the villain. So, and sometimes the villains may come together and team up, and likewise. So, I think that so what Marvel has been able to do for the past 10 years, right? And it all started with Iron Man, right? It's from Iron Man, and I remember the last scene, the ending credit scene from Iron Man, when Nick Fury asked, this is not a spoiler because this movie is 10 years old now, but the ending credit scene when Nick Fury asked Tony Stark, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers initiative. This is 10 years ago. So, pardon me. So this is 10 years ago. And when that seed was planted, so to speak, right? That seed was planted 10 years ago. And since then, they've been, after every year, 2, 3, sometimes 2, 3 movies, maybe, I don't know how many movies now, maybe like 20 movies, something like that. Let's just say like 20 movies that have been in the past 10 years to lead up into this culmination to where within the movie itself, I mean, again, this is going to be non-spoilery, so, but you think about it, if you have, I don't know how many different characters in total, like heroes and villains, I don't know, 30, 40, some crazy number of characters that had to be portrayed in this movie that have, and we've seen majority of them, I think, if not all of them, in prior movies. So they've all been seen in these prior, over the last 10 years. So the stage, the directors and the personnel over there at Marvel, they had to use everything that was set forth, that was already laid out. Marvel had things laid out to where they, within their own, when characters had their own individual movies, and they kind of put little stuff in there here and there, and everything just kind of ties together to where you have these different characters that are all in this is a big gigantic movie, and some characters are meeting each other for the first time and having experiences with each other for the first time, having interactions. You get to see how somebody's personality plays against somebody else, how they interact, how they get along, how they don't get along, what happens when they come across this grave, big, huge threat. And all of this is played out in this movie, and it pays off, and it's gratifying because we've lived with some of these characters for the past 10 years, like for real, like in an actual, from an actual, like from the past 10 years in this movie, in this movie universe, in this MCU. We've lived with these characters, right? Like from people like Tony Stark. We've lived with him for the past 10 years, since 2008, 2009. And it's just so when you have all these characters and you have all these powerful character moments that take place in this movie, it pays off. It's gratifying because once you are, once you follow a character or characters over like a number of years, you're kind of attached to the character. You kind of develop feelings, so to speak, as far as like emotional attachment to the character. Right? You don't want to see the character. You don't want to see the character die. You don't want to see the character get hurt. You don't want to see the character leave. You want to you develop this emotional attachment to it, and that's one of the ways that that's able to happen because you are actually get to know and become familiar about this character throughout these number of years. So all of this is going on in Infinity War, right? All of these different character moments, and you have this grave threat that comes in, and so there's a lot that's happening. There's a lot of fighting that's going on, and as well as a lot of deep, well-deserved, like personal character moments between certain characters, and it's just awesome. Like, so I think that I really enjoyed going to see the movie. So, and before I get to and again, I want to tie everything into healthcare IT, but I just want to get everything out what I can recall about the movie itself. And I think that it was just a great experience to be able to go see. And when you see and you don't want to see certain characters that you've grown attachments to, emotional attachments to over the years. You don't want to see anything that happens to them, and you don't want to see things. And it's just, it was just an awesome experience to go see. So for me, I would want to, I just want to real quick. I want to, right now, I guess I want to go see it. I want to see the movie, again. Like I'm that type of person to where I can watch kind of movies, certain movies like over and over again. And this is one of the types of movies that I can actually go see again and again, just because of how it was well done. And I think I just want to make a note real quick that the Russo brothers, I think that they did an awesome job, right? Just how they were able to portray everything. Kind of was fluent, and it flowed together and fit with the amount of characters that they had to have in this movie. I think it was awesome, and I think what they were able to do with the main threat of the movie was also like brilliant. And I also enjoyed the Russo brothers when they did the Captain America, excuse me, Civil War. I have to go back and watch. I'm sorry. I also when they did Winter Soldier, I have to go back and watch Civil War again because Civil War wasn't too. It didn't really stick to me that much. So I would just want to rank, for you Marvel buffs. If you're still watching this, you must be a Marvel comic book guy, 'cause this is probably the only people that's going to be able to watch this. Maybe, I'm guessing. But I would probably rank this within just we're talking about Marvel movies in the MCU. Yeah, in the MCU, I would probably, but if I'm talking about my top five, it's going to be, so I'm going to have Iron Man, the original Iron Man in there. I'm going to have the Winter Soldier. This is no particular order. I'm not sure what the order is right now, but Winter Soldier, Iron Man, first Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I enjoyed that one. And what did I say? And of course, and the first number four is going to be the first Avengers, the first one, because that's when they brought everything together. I mean, the first one, and then number five is going to be Infinity War. No particular order, but that's going to probably be my top five. Just how I, enjoy things. I don't. Maybe number six would be something like, I'm not sure. Maybe I enjoyed Thor Ragnarok too as well, but maybe that's number six or somewhere in the 6 to 10. But this is what I got out of Infinity War. It was that's how what I thought about it. I will be watching it again over and over. Maybe I think it's probably out of theaters right now, almost. I would definitely be buying some sort of DVD or however media that they place it online, and so I can just be able to watch it over. But I believe that Marvel achieved a monumental achievement with this movie, and how everything kind of ties back to healthcare IT is because of kind of like how you have all of these different, just like I kind of explained, all of these different pieces that you kind of like over the years within the Marvel movies, all of these different interwoven stories, some stories tying together with another story, and how it all comes into, after all the 10 years later, how it comes to all in a culmination of this big main event, right? Well, it's kind of like something similar with like when you're learning healthcare IT, right? When you're learning healthcare IT, you're not going to learn everything within the first 6 months or the first month or something like that. It's going to take time to put all the different pieces together, right? So to be able to you pick up stuff that you learn, as far as real specific stuff, like as far as if you need to figure out you're trying to troubleshoot why, you're trying to look at logs to try to find out why this modality is not able to store the packs. So you're asked to look at the DICOM logs of the sending modalities so you can take a look to see what the DICOM error is, or if you need to find out, you have a study that's stored in packs and you need to actually look at the DICOM header or the DICOM tags. So you need to figure out so you can see what the session number is. So you want to know what the the DICOM tag is for and the session number, so you can go and search the log and find the session number for that study, because if this session number is not correct for whatever reason, and you need to have that information. I mean, just generic examples right off my head. That stuff that, some things it takes time like to learn, and as you continue on into the field, you pick up stuff, you add it to your arsenal, and you go on and you interact. You're in other environments, you're dealing with different situations, and as you come across different things, you're able to add these experiences and these events and this information to your repertoire so you can use it. So literally, you build, your experience, you build what you know, you build what you learn, and you build what you're able to do, and you're able to bring into your and this field with it, which is healthcare IT. So this is kind of how it's similar to what like Marvel did, right? So, in the MCU, Marvel they had all these movies together. Everybody's doing their own thing. They're doing some stuff together. So with 10 years, it's a big span. You learn a lot. It's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of experience. It's a lot of invested emotional events that are there that take place, and it comes into this culmination, big, huge culmination. That's Avengers 3, which is, Infinity War. And the beautiful thing about Avengers Infinity War is that, that's part 1. They're going to do part 2, which is going to be the ending, the bookend culmination. So big, the movie was so big, huge, this culmination that they had to do 2 movies. I mean, it's fantastic. It's great. I get excited just by talking about it. I think it was awesome. So it's kind of like similar. So this is my whole thing to it's that I wanted to draw that parallelism with healthcare IT, because it's literally like, I've been in this field for 13 years, and literally, I've picked up so much experience, so much knowledge, but I didn't gain all this knowledge just from within a year or 6 months. It's literally been over a decade that I have accumulated, this vast amount of information and knowledge. So, and you pick up things here and there as you experience different jobs, you deal with different people, you go to different places, you're traveling, and for your job, and then you just have all of these different events that take place, and you have these different colleagues that you can rely on, you can call it if you got problems, assist with, they kind of like your fellow, superheroes, Marvel superhero or super villain if you want, or if you're a villain, whatnot, however you want to play it, or your anti-hero, maybe like Loki, what kind of turned into, maybe, so that's kind of how healthcare IT is, and it actually is, and it's how that's been my experience within healthcare IT, right? And that's how it kind of ties together. That's the parallel, the similarities to how the MCU and what they've been able to do over this past 10 years kind of ties into healthcare IT. So I hope that kind of makes sense. I was kind of long-winded, maybe, but I really kind of just enjoyed talking about my experience in the movie, going to see it. I will definitely, I think I'll probably go see Ant-Man too. I think Ant-Man comes out this week. This is July 3rd, by the way. Just wanted to put that out there, just the date. So I'll probably go see Ant-Man this week, most likely. And I just can't wait for the Avengers 4 to come out next year. And so, and after that, it's maybe a whole nother I mean, this is going to be the bookend to what is this, phase 3? I think it is. Is it fake? The bookend to phase 3, is it? And so I just think that Marvel has accomplished so much. They were able to do so much, and we've got to. I've got to experience, all of it, to see everything from the beginning, from the beginning to now, and I just think that it's beautiful. And so with healthcare IT, kind of the same thing. You're kind of over the years, you just gain so much knowledge, and you have so many different experiences from just like I kind of explained, from all of these different areas and these different jobs, and you're doing everything, and from it just culminates to where you're at now, where I'm at now, kind of sitting here and talking to you and letting you know my experiences. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm kind of going back and forth now, maybe going over the same stuff, but I just wanted to kind of talk about my how just pretty much wanted to find an excuse to talk about Infinity War, how much I enjoyed it. I didn't do any spoilers, just talking in general. But if actually healthcare IT is something that you're interested in doing and you're interested in learning, you can actually go to, if this is your first time getting started, you want to know like what is healthcare IT is about, then you can literally go to whatishealthcareIT.com, whatishealthcareIT.com. Go there. That's just like a free introduction video. Kind of gives you an intro of what healthcare IT is about. If you already did that, then I also have a free course that you can take, which you can go to starthealthcareIT.com. That's starthealthcareIT.com. And that's a free course on how you can get started in healthcare IT, the tools, the resources that you need to use. You can go there. And then, of course, after you've taken a free course and you're ready to actually make moves and do things and get into this space, you can actually have a program that you can go to, which is healthcareitintro.com, healthcareitintro.com. You can go there, and that's my full-blown program where I teach you everything. I teach you everything that you need to know in order to become experienced and to gain experience and to thrive into this field. So until next time, I hope that this video has been beneficial to my comic book movie buffs, people out there, and let me know if you want me to do a. Now that I'm kind of in it, I may be interested in doing maybe like a Star Wars type. I may actually do a Star Wars themed video now that I have it in my head and I'm thinking about it. So could be maybe. So I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Terrell Pauly. Until next time, take care.